Hi again, third grade. So today I'm going to review something called volume. And when we were in class, a long time ago, when we went to go pick apples, we talked about how they measure the amount of apples picked by the bushel. This is not a bushel basket. The bushel basket is still at school. But this is similar to a bushel basket. It's less than a bushel basket. And it is the half peck. So this one of these, or four of these, would fit in the peck, and then two of these would fit in the peck, and then four pecks would go in a bushel. So clearly this kind of a basket is not going to hold water. This is for dry goods. We measure the dry good, mostly just apples and other fruits. Anything kind of big can go in a basket like this. It couldn't hold something like flour. It could probably hold rice, and you get the little grains stuck in the bottom, so it's not ideal. This is more for larger products, mostly produce. You could do cucumbers and squash hauling around using these baskets and storing with these baskets. So the bushel and all of its little smaller components are for dry volume. And we talked a little bit also about wet volume. And I had a couple of these, and then one that I don't have anymore that is smaller, which was the quart version of this. We looked at quarts, we looked at gallons, which this is not, this is half the gallon. And then we looked at cups and pints. And we saw the relationship between them before we made our gallon person. And today what we're going to do is put all of that information on a main lesson page in our orange math books. But first I wanted to review it a little bit. So this kind of liquid volume now is found all over your house, probably. For instance, in my refrigerator is a nice cold bottle of Virgil's vanilla cream soda, a little splurge that I indulged in when I went shopping the other day. And I also happen to have one of these at my house. We used these in the classroom. This is a glass measuring cup. It's for liquid substances. Milk. I usually use milk and water. And sometimes broth. I can put broth in this. I can put hot things in here too. This liquid measuring cup only measures a total of 2 cups. That's as far as it will go. And you can see on the other side, it also measures something called a milliliter. And we can talk about that for the last week of school a little bit, just as something for fun if you would like to explore it. In addition to the cups, you can see there's that symbol QT and OZ. So not only on this measuring cup am I measuring in cups, I can also measure in quarts, and I can measure in ounces. Now, I'm going to find out whether or not this Virgil's, which claims that it has 12 fluid ounces in the bottle, actually does. So here we go. I'm going to pour it in, and maybe, if moms and dads will let you, you will be able to see that yes, there are 12 fluid ounces of Virgil's in that bottle. And now it's in my measuring cup. So I'll have to drink it from here when it's time to drink. But in addition to using the measuring cup, the glass measuring cup, you can also use a plastic or a glass or a ceramic cup. And we talked a little bit about that there's a certain number of cups that goes in something else called a pint, which is even smaller than the quart. So here I have a pint, and you can see it written right there. 1 pint of heavy whipping cream. So the pint, the quart, the half gallon, the gallon, those are all ways to measure volume of a liquid. And we can also use a measuring cup that isn't multiple. We could use the dry measuring cup. Some people do that. And there's also another thing that you can use when you're cooking, especially if you want to be precise. Some people, when they cook, they don't use all of the measuring devices they have in their kitchen. So not only do I have a glass multi-cup measuring liquid cup, I also have for dry goods. And I sometimes use my dry good measuring cups to measure both liquid and dry good. And there's something else that you can also use that is metal sometimes or plastic. Not very often are they glass. Sometimes they're ceramic though, and they're breakable, to measure very small amounts of substances. That thing you can add to our page because it might be something you have in your house. And maybe there's something else you have that is not on my list, and then you can add that too. So I'm going to leave a little room for some creativity for those of you that have a little extra measuring